My name is Lucy. My fiancé texted, I can't talk. Funeral day. Minutes later, I saw him tagged in a place filled with music, lights, and someone from his past. I replied with 2 words, only then shared the proof where silence would hurt the most. I'm 29, was engaged for 8 months, and I learned that grief is an excellent cover story when you need your partner to stop asking questions. My fiancé and I met 3 years ago through a hiking group. He was 33, worked in marketing, had this infectious energy that made everyone around him feel more alive. We dated for 2 years before he proposed on the anniversary of our first hike together. The ring wasn't massive, but it was what he could afford, and I cried when he asked. Happy tears, he thought. Planning the wedding was mostly smooth. Small conflicts about the guest list, venue budget, the usual stuff. His family liked me well enough. My family loved him. We'd set a date for 6 months out, booked the venue, sent save the dates. Everything was moving forward normally. Then about 3 months ago, he started mentioning his ex. Not constantly, just enough to be noticeable. They'd dated for 2 years in their early 20s, apparently stayed friends after the breakup. She'd moved across the country for work, and they'd lost touch. Standard ex story, nothing alarming. She reached out on social media, he mentioned one evening while we were making dinner. Just saying hi, seeing how I've been. That's nice, how'd she seem? Good. She's back in the area temporarily for a work project. Asked if we could catch up sometime. You want to? He shrugged. Maybe. I don't know. Would that bother you? Not really. You guys ended things years ago, right? Yeah, we were kids. It wasn't serious. I believed him. Trusted him completely. Why wouldn't I? We were engaged. Planning a life together. An old ex reaching out didn't seem threatening. Over the next few weeks, he mentioned meeting her for coffee once, then lunch another time. Just catching up, he'd say. She's only here for a few more weeks for her project. I didn't think much of it. I have male friends I grab coffee with. He was entitled to maintain friendships with exes if they had ended amicably. Then last Tuesday happened. He texted me around 9 a.m. My aunt passed away last night. I'm going to be with family today. Probably won't be able to talk much. I'll call you tonight. I immediately called him. Straight to voicemail. I texted back. I'm so sorry. Which aunt? Do you need me to come be with you? I can take the day off. The one who lives 2 states away. We weren't super close, but my mom is devastated. Family only today. I'll be okay. Love you. Love you too. Call me if you need anything. I spent the day thinking about him, hoping he was holding up okay. Sent him a few supportive texts throughout the day. No responses, but I figured he was busy with family stuff, funeral arrangements, supporting his mom. Around 3 p.m., I was scrolling through social media on a break. That's when I saw it. A mutual acquaintance had posted a photo from a new rooftop bar that had just opened downtown, tagged several people in it, including my fiancé. The photo was time-stamped 1 hour ago. I stared at the photo. There he was, holding a drink, smiling, standing next to his ex. The place was clearly busy. Music, lights, people dancing in the background. A celebration, not a funeral. My brain couldn't process it at first. Maybe it was an old photo tagged wrong. I checked the location tag. Confirmed current. Checked the other photos in the post. Multiple shots from the same afternoon, all recent. All showing him very much not at a funeral. I screenshot everything. The original text about the funeral, the social media posts with timestamps, the photos clearly showing him at a bar with his ex. Then I texted him 2 words. Funeral, huh? No response for 3 hours. Update 1. He finally called at 6 p.m. I let it ring 4 times before answering. Hey, sorry I couldn't call earlier. It's been such a long day. I'm sure it has been. My mom is she's a mess. We've been making arrangements all day. Really? What funeral home are you using? Silence. Why are you asking that? Just curious. Thought I might send flowers. That's sweet, but you don't need to. It's family only anyway. Family only at the funeral that you're definitely at right now? What's with the tone? What's with the lie? More silence. I could hear him breathing, hear background noise that sounded nothing like a grieving family gathering. I don't know what you're talking about. You're tagged in photos from a bar downtown, posted 2 hours ago, standing next to your ex. So either your aunt's funeral is at a rooftop bar or you lied to me. He didn't say anything for a long moment. It's not what it looks like. Then what is it? Can we talk about this in person? I'll come over. Sure, come over. I'd love to hear the explanation for this. He showed up 40 minutes later, still in the outfit from the photos. Hair styled, no signs of crying or grief. I opened the door and just looked at him. Before you say anything, No, you talk. Explain why you lied about a funeral to go to a bar with your ex. He came inside, set his bag down, took a breath like he was preparing a speech. Okay, yes, I lied. There's no funeral. I'm sorry, but I didn't know how to tell you. Tell me what? That I wanted to spend the day with her. She's leaving this weekend, going back across the country. This was her goodbye party. I wanted to be there. And you couldn't just tell me that? Because I knew you'd be weird about it. Weird about my fiancé lying about a dead relative to spend the day drinking with his ex? Yeah, that's so unreasonable of me. Don't be like that. Nothing happened. We were just saying goodbye. If nothing happened, why lie? Why not just say, hey, my ex is leaving town. Her friends are throwing a party. I want to go. Why invent a funeral? I'm bad. He didn't have an answer for that. How long have you been lying? I asked. What? Coffee, lunch. How many of those catching up meetings were actually something else? They were just coffee and lunch. I wasn't lying about those. But you were lying about today, so how do I know what's true and what isn't? He started crying. You're twisting this. I made one mistake, and you're acting like I've been deceiving you for months. You told me your aunt died. You let me spend the day worried about you, sending you supportive messages while you were out partying. That's not a mistake, that's calculated. I panicked, okay? I knew you wouldn't understand about the party, so I made up an excuse. It was stupid, but it doesn't mean I'm cheating on you. I never said you were cheating, but that's what you're implying. I'm implying that you're a liar. Whether you're cheating is a different question. He wiped his eyes. I love you. I want to marry you. She's just a friend from my past. Today meant nothing. If it meant nothing, you wouldn't have lied. What do you want me to say? That I have feelings for her? I don't. Today was closure. Saying goodbye, that's all. Closure for what? I thought you two ended things years ago. Why do you need closure now? He didn't answer that either. I told him to leave. He tried to argue, to explain, to make me understand. I just kept saying, no, leave. We'll talk tomorrow. He finally left around 9 p.m. I sat in my apartment staring at the screenshots on my phone. Update 2. I didn't sleep that night. Kept replaying the conversation, his excuses, the fact that he'd invented a dead relative rather than just being honest with me. By morning, I'd made a decision. I texted him. I need complete honesty, no more lies. Tell me exactly what's been going on with your ex. He called immediately. Can we please meet in person? No, text me the truth or we're done. 20 minutes later, I got a long text. He said they'd been talking more than he'd let on. Daily messages for the past month. That he'd had feelings for her when they dated years ago that he'd never fully resolved. That seeing her again had brought up old emotions he thought he'd moved past. That he'd been confused and conflicted and didn't know how to tell me. But I chose you, the text ended. I'm engaged to you. I want to marry you. Yesterday was me saying goodbye to her and that chapter of my life for good. I read it 3 times. Then I opened the screenshots I'd taken, created a group text with his mom, his sister, and my mom. 3 people who'd been helping plan our wedding. 3 people who deserved to know who they were dealing with. I sent the screenshots, the funeral text, the photos from the bar, and I added one line. Turns out his aunt is alive and well. He was just busy drinking with his ex. Turned off my phone and went to work. Update 3. I turned my phone back on during lunch. 63 messages, missed calls from everyone. His mom, we need to talk, call me. His sister, what the hell is going on? My mom, please call me when you can. Him, why would you do that? Why would you tell my family? We could have worked this out privately. More from him. My mom is furious. My sister won't stop calling. You've humiliated me. And more. This is manipulative. You're trying to turn my family against me. I didn't respond to him. I called my mom instead. Sweetheart, what happened? I told her everything. The lies, the ex, the fake funeral. She listened quietly. I'm so sorry. That's a betrayal. What are you going to do? I don't know, but I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. His family was helping plan this wedding. They deserve to know. His mother is very upset, not at you, at him. Good. Are you calling off the wedding? I think so. I don't see how we come back from this. Take your time. Don't make permanent decisions and temporary emotions. But also, don't let him convince you this is normal or acceptable. I went back to work, ignored more messages from my fiancé. Finally, around 3 p.m., I got a text from his sister. I'm sorry he did this to you. My parents are insisting he come clean about everything. I'll let you know what we find out. That made my stomach drop. Everything implied there was more. Update 4. His sister called me that evening. We had a family meeting, confronted him. You need to know some things. I'm listening. They've been talking since before she came back to town. Started messaging about 6 months ago. She reached out while she was planning her return. My throat went dry. The coffee and lunch meetings, there were more than he told you. at least weekly for the past 2 months. Jesus. There's more. The work project that brought her here, it's not temporary. She took a permanent position. She's not leaving this weekend. That was another lie to justify the party. I couldn't speak. He admitted he's been emotionally involved with her. Says nothing physical happened, but he's been having what he called an emotional affair. He kept saying he was trying to figure out his feelings, that he never meant to hurt you. Did he figure them out? He says he wants to marry you, but our parents are questioning whether that's true or if he's just scared of the consequences. And what do you think? There was a pause. Honestly, I think he wants both. You're stable and good to him. She's exciting and nostalgic. He's been trying to have both without choosing. Yeah, I said quietly. That sounds right. My parents told him the wedding is off unless you two go to counseling and he cuts her off completely. He agreed, but I wanted you to know the full truth first, before he tries to spin it. I appreciate that. For what it's worth, I like you. I think you deserve better than this, but it's your call. She hung up. I sat with that information for about 10 minutes. Then my fiancé texted, "Please, can we talk? I'll tell you everything. I'll do whatever it takes to fix this." I replied, "I know about the 6 months of messages, the weekly meetups, the fact that she's not leaving. I know everything." A few seconds later, "Who told you?" "Doesn't matter. It's all true, isn't it?" "Yes, but I can explain." "There's nothing to explain. You've been having an affair for months, lying to me constantly. The funeral was just the most egregious lie in a long pattern of lies." "It wasn't an affair. Nothing physical happened. Emotional affairs count. You were building a relationship with her while planning a wedding with me." I was confused. "No, you were selfish. You wanted me for stability and her for excitement, and you thought you could have both." "That's not fair." "What's not fair is you wasting 3 years of my life. What's not fair is me helping plan a wedding while you were texting your ex every day. What's not fair is inventing a dead relative so you could drink with her without me knowing." He didn't respond for a while. Then, "So that's it? You're just giving up on us?" "You gave up on us 6 months ago. I'm just catching up." Update 5. The next few days were a blur. I contacted the wedding venue, explained the situation, lost the deposit but got out of the contract, called the vendors we'd booked. Most were understanding. Some weren't. I didn't care either way. My fiancé kept trying to reach me. Calls, texts, showing up at my apartment. I ignored all of it. His family stopped reaching out after the first few days, respecting my space. About a week after everything blew up, I got a message from an unknown number. It was her, the ex. "I heard what happened. I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I didn't know he was engaged. When we started talking again, he told me you two had broken up. When I found out the truth, I told him he needed to be honest with you. That's why he was at the party, to say goodbye, because I wasn't going to keep seeing him while he was engaged." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I replied, "If that's true, why didn't you tell me yourself?" "I thought about it, but it wasn't my place. I figured he'd do the right thing eventually." "He didn't." "I know. I'm sorry. I never meant to be part of destroying someone's relationship." "You weren't. He destroyed it. You were just the excuse." She didn't respond after that. I screenshotted the conversation and sent it to my ex-fiancé with no comment. He called immediately. "She's lying. I never told her we broke up. I was always clear about being engaged." "Even if that's true, it doesn't change anything. You still lied to me for months. You still chose to build a relationship with her behind my back. Whether she knew the full truth or not is irrelevant. So you believe her over me?" "I believe you're both liars. The difference is I'm not planning to marry her." "Was planning," he said quietly. He started crying. "Please, we can fix this. Counseling, therapy, whatever you want. I'll cut her off completely. I'll show you my phone anytime you want. Please don't throw away 3 years over this." "You threw it away, not me. And I'm not interested in a relationship where I have to monitor your phone like you're a child. That's not a marriage. That's a prison." "You're being cruel." "No, I'm being honest. Something you never managed. I do love you." "Maybe you do, but not enough. Not the way someone should love their partner. You loved the stability I provided while you chased excitement elsewhere." "That's not true." "Then why did you do it? Why lie for 6 months? Why invent a funeral? Why risk everything we'd built?" He didn't have an answer. Just kept crying and saying he didn't know. He was confused. He made mistakes. "I hope you figure yourself out," I said, "but you're going to do it without me." I hung up and blocked his number. Final update. That was 2 months ago. The ring is returned. The wedding is canceled. I moved to a different apartment because he kept showing up at my old one. Fresh start in a new place. His family reached out once more. His mother called to apologize, said she didn't raise her son to behave that way, that she was disappointed and embarrassed. I appreciated the call, but made it clear I was moving on. Mutual friends have mostly sided with me after hearing the full story. A few tried the both sides approach, suggesting maybe I overreacted. I cut those people off too. If you think inventing a funeral to cheat is defensible, we don't need to be friends. I heard through someone that he and his ex are officially together now. Apparently, once I was out of the picture, he stopped pretending there was nothing there. They're probably telling people I was the problem, that I didn't understand him, that we grew apart. Let them. I know the truth. My mom asked me recently if I was okay, really okay. I told her honestly that I am. Hurt? Yes. Angry? Definitely. But also relieved. Better to find out now than after a wedding, after kids, after decades of marriage. The thing that bothers me most isn't even the cheating itself. It's the elaborate lies. The fake funeral specifically. He could have made up any excuse. Work event, friend's party, family obligation. But he chose death. That takes a special kind of callousness. I think about that sometimes. How easily he lied about something so serious. How he let me console him for a loss that didn't exist. How he would have kept lying if I hadn't seen those photos. It makes me wonder what else he would have lied about over the years. I'm dating again. Casually. Nothing serious. Taking my time. I'm more careful now. More aware of red flags. More willing to ask difficult questions. Less willing to ignore my gut when something feels off. Someone asked me recently if I regretted exposing him to his family, if maybe I should have handled it privately. I thought about it and said no. He embarrassed himself. I just provided evidence. His family deserved to know before they spent more time and money on a wedding that was built on lies. Would I do anything differently? Maybe. Maybe I'd have asked harder questions earlier, pushed back when he started seeing his ex regularly, trusted my instincts when things started feeling off. But probably not, because I wanted to trust him. Wanted to believe we were solid enough that an ex-girlfriend wasn't a threat. Wanted to be the cool, secure fiancé who didn't get jealous or controlling. Turns out there's a difference between being secure and being naive. I was naive. He was manipulative. We both learned something. The 2 words I sent him, funeral, huh? Haunt him. Apparently a mutual friend said he talks about that text as the moment everything fell apart. Like I ruined everything by catching him, instead of him ruining everything by lying. That's fine. Let him remember it that way. Let him tell people I was harsh and unforgiving. I know what happened. I know I gave him 3 years of loyalty and got 6 months of lies in return. I know I responded with exactly the energy he deserved. Some people think revenge is petty. Maybe it is. But sometimes the truth, delivered at the right moment to the right people, is the most powerful response to betrayal. Not yelling, not begging, not trying to change their mind. Just exposing the lie and walking away with your dignity intact. He wanted to have it all. The stability and the excitement, the fiancé and the ex, the lie and the truth. Life doesn't work that way. Choices have consequences. He made his. I made mine. And mine was 2 words and a screenshot.